As we began the festival of Passover last night, we embarked on a journey of liberation. Here's how the rabbis of the Mishnah sum it up. Matchil bignut umesayem b'shevach. We begin in degradation and end in praise. The Exodus story starts with slavery and desperation, so it's helpful to know that the story will end with deliverance and joy. No matter how dark the beginning appears, the ancient Israelites' suffering is a precursor to their eventual freedom. It would be nice to have that guarantee in our own lives, to know that no matter how tough things get, that our stories will end with exuberant songs of praise. But like us, the ancient Israelites didn't have that real-time guarantee. We know where their story ends. We've read the Haggadah before, or at least watched the Prince of Egypt, the Ten Commandments, or the Rugrats Passover special. But our biblical ancestors didn't have that luxury. Without knowing that their story would end with songs of praise, how did they respond to their difficult circumstances? From the depths of their despair, how did they maintain hope? I've been thinking a lot about one midrash this Passover season, a rabbinic story that encapsulates gritty optimism in the face of pessimism and pain. In this midrash, one audacious heroine manages to sustain her own hope and convinces others to preserve their hope too. This midrash begins with Pharaoh's harrowing decree to murder all Israelite baby boys. And our rabbis wonder how Moses' father Amram reacted. And they're telling, Amram shuts down. Despondent, he exclaims, "The people of Israel are birthing children for naught." Seeing no way forward, he leaves his beloved wife and swears off intimacy, lest they have a baby who would be doomed from the start. In response to Pharaoh's cruelty, Amram wonders, what's the point in building a family or a future when it could all be taken away? Crushed, he jumps to the conclusion that there's no reason to go on living and loving. Attempting to prevent the pain of loss, Amram prevents the love that precedes it, as if that love were also for naught. He closes himself off, building a protective shield. And Amram wasn't alone. The other Israelite men followed his lead and swore off intimacy too. And just like that, it seemed that Pharaoh had won. Demoralized, the people of Israel no longer believed they could build a better future. So they simply gave up. Hopelessness became a self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is where our protagonist intercedes. Miriam, Amram's young daughter, confronts her father directly, and she chastises him, insisting, "Your decree is harsher than Pharaoh's. Pharaoh's decree only applies to the boys, but yours applies to the girls too. And Pharaoh is wicked, so his decree might not happen, but you, Dad, you're righteous, so your decree will happen." Miriam, a little girl, bravely enters the fray to remind her father Amram to keep living and keep loving in the face of hardship. Inspired by his daughter's powerful message, Amram reunites with his wife Yocheved and convinces the other Israelite men to do the same. And we know what happens next. Amram and Yocheved have a baby boy, Moses, the child who will grow up to liberate the Israelites from bondage and degradation. After 400 years of slavery, the Israelites are redeemed because Miriam reignited their collective belief in the possibility of a better future. The people of Israel only move from degradation to praise because one brave little girl reminded her dad not to give up on hope and not to give up on love. Miriam teaches us that cultivating hope in dark times is neither foolish nor naive. It is courageous. Hope does not require us to pretend that nothing bad is happening or to know that there will be a happy ending. Rather, Miriam shows us that hope is choosing to believe in and build a brighter future when we face impending darkness. Many of us entered this Passover feeling overwhelmed by personal challenges or by challenges in the world around us. In times like these, it's easy to shut down, like Amram. That's often my coping mechanism. When things get to be too much, it sometimes feels like the only option, the only means of self-preservation is to avoid the pain and the overwhelm by retracting from the world. Miriam calls those of us with this tendency to respond differently. And others of us entered this Passover season celebrating new, exciting possibilities this spring. Perhaps this is how Miriam felt too. Perhaps this is why she could imagine a better future beyond the Israelites' struggles. Miriam's hope gives her the strength to recognize others' anguish and to help them forge a way out of their pain. Miriam proves to her father, she proves to us, that we all have the power to inspire others to maintain hope. Even the smallest among us, even those of us who worry about the authority or importance of our voices, can pull those we love out of melancholy and despair. Miriam reminds us that we can all make a vital difference in the lives of those closest to us, and through this one-on-one encouragement, we just might impact the outlook of our entire community. Even without a guarantee that their degradation would someday become praise, Miriam doesn't give up on hope. She reminds us what's possible for us. She calls us to confront despair and to engage in acts of positive purpose. She calls us to keep living and to keep loving even when it feels nearly impossible. Whether you entered this Passover feeling as defeated as Amram or as confident as Miriam, may we all heed the lesson of this midrash. May we cultivate gritty optimism in ourselves and help our loved ones find hope so that together we can build our way out of the darkness and towards joyful songs of praise. Ken Yehi Ratzon.